was your day, honey?
Pretty intense, but I brought something for you.
So first things first, Arc Raiders is shaping up to be the slickest thing to hit the extraction shooter scene in about a minute. Now, on a need-to-know basis, this is built by the Finals developers at Embark Studios. The game throws you in a way busted-up retro future where scavenging is survival and these Arc machines do rule the surface. So technically, and this looks like an AI, but the game's vibe is just pure 80s sci-fi with some scrappy Mad Max energy. Every weapon feels gritty and handmade, and every fight feels risky. It's got PvE, PvP, and a whole lot of tension in between. You're not just looting, you're surviving ambushes, dodging bots, and outsmarting other players as well. The gunplay slaps, the art direction is a whole mood, and it already feels smoother than half the genre. Check it out, it's out on a beta for about 3 more days.
Where'd you get that jacket?
With that being said, Hello Sunshine is like basically a desert survival game where your only shade is this giant robot buddy. This thing was announced about 5 or 6 hours ago, and if it doesn't really make sense, here you follow this huge mech through a cooked wasteland, trying just not to get fried by the sun during the day and also freezing at night. I mean, this game is part hike, part emotional damage, with you fixing stuff, dodging drones, and slowly bonding with this big guy. You can upgrade him too. There's even co-op, and it kind of sounds like one of you might actually play as the robot, which is wild. I mean, this game is given Pixar, Main, and Mad Max vibes at the same time. It's actually made by Dreamfall developers, so you can expect some deep story stuff. No release date yet, but it's already looking like a banger. With that being said though guys, Wuang Fallen Feathers lands on July 24, and if you're into dark, gritty Souls-like games, this one's got some serious potential. This action RPG is set in a fantasy version of 17th century China during the Ming Dynasty, and you play as a warrior who's dealing with supernatural entities and all sorts of stuff. The combat looks weighty and deliberate, and the world has that eerie, decaying beauty fans of the genre do love. It's hitting Game Pass day 1 with pre-orders available. There is a deluxe edition that is just packed with extra costumes, weapons, and skills if you're going all in.
Death hath cast its shadow o'er this land. All hope seemeth lost.
Hunger looks like the kind of nightmare you want to get lost in. I mean, this game is built by the team behind Hell Let Loose. It's an extraction PvP VE RPG that throws you in a plague-ravaged Napoleonic Europe where brutal combat and creepy monsters are just the beginning. It's first person, it's dark, and it's all about survival. I mean, whether that means fending off other players or slicing through horrors straight from your worst fever dreams, you're gonna have to deal with it. Think Hunt Showdown meets Destiny, but grimier and more unforgiving. You can craft, fight, extract. It's got RPG elements, some long-term progression, and quests that actually shape your build. This one's got some serious potential. It's coming to PCs only sometime later on this year.
Mayhem. I take that personally.
With that being said though guys, Borderlands 4 is showing up early and loud. The game is now dropping September 12th and is bringing chaos to PC, Xbox Series, PlayStation 5 and Switch II. The planet Cairo sets the stage this time, where cybergenetic overlords and mutant factions all fight for control. New Vault Hunters like Vex and Rafa push the gameplay into fresh, ridiculous territory. And there will be a deeper skill tree, some insane gun modes, and co-op that actually works across different modes. I mean, Gearbox is fusing the franchise's signature madness with smarter progression, seamless region, and more rip and take than ever before. And yes, it still slaps with that loud, looty, shooty energy that made Borderlands a classic.
Violators will be shot on sight.
For survival is to take shelter, and quickly. On Arrakis, exposure.
Dune Awakening is finally shaping up to be the absolute GOAT. Technically, after years of silence, this open-world MMORPG is launching on PC June 10, and it's giving real Arrakis energy. Like, you're not just surviving storms or dodging sandworms here, it's about building power in a brutal world. Faction alliances, some deep base building mechanics, and a living ecosystem shaped by spice wars and the planet's climate are all actually in the play. So whether you are trading, fighting, or scheming, everything feels like it matters in this game. The visuals hit hard, and with console releases lined up later, this game is aiming big. If you've ever dreamed of actually living in the Dune universe, this might be your best shot.
Atreides welcome your aid. Swear your fealty to the Atreides and rise to greatness on Arrakis. Your base serves as a reflection of both your influence and your allegiance to a faction. The safety provided by your base allows you to craft powerful new tools, technologies, and vehicles. Here we are crafting a ground car. Once each part of your vehicle is assembled, you can install modules to enhance its specialization further and customize its appearance. By aligning with the Atreides, you have earned the option to craft their faction-specific ground car.
Sector weather alert. A large sandstorm is approaching.
On the horizon, another sandstorm approaches. But this time...
If you can't really have hands on the game itself right now, Game of Thrones King's Road just went through another beta, and it's really, really good. I mean, it's got a lot of negative reviews, this game, but Game of Thrones King's Road is coming out of its early access and into full release on May 21st, and hopefully it'll get rid of the things that doesn't really make sense with the price. The thing is, this game actually started as a mobile project, which is now a PC full game. It's got solid graphics, lots of cinematic cutscenes and some interesting story, and a decent combat and loads of exploration. The game is not PvP, it's a co-op, and personally I think the biggest strength of it actually comes from being an open world, and that you won't really need to know the series' original story to figure it out.
You will quickly discover that time management is one of the game's crucial challenges.
With that being said, The Alters drops on June 13, and it's one of the most intriguing sci-fi survival games in a while. In this game, if you missed it, you play as a man that's stranded on a planet that'll fry him alive when the sun rises, unless he teams up with alternative versions of himself that he makes. These versions, called alters, are shaped by different life choices, and they will all come with unique skills and baggages. So there's a mix of emotional storytelling, some base building, and strategy with a ton of decisions. The Alters from the minds from Frostpunk is launching on PC and all of the consoles and Game Pass by day one. Check it out if you missed it.
Actions for each day on the planet's surface and on board the base. Of course, life will probably write its own story, as you will most assuredly face many obstacles along the way, as well as be required to diffuse tensions between your
Happy to grant it. Your swings are weak.
With that being said, we've got over here Demon Slayer Chronicles 2. Yeah, the highly anticipated sequel to the 2021 fighting action adventure game, which is technically an arena fighter like the good old Dragon Balls. CyberConnect 2 and Arc System Works are expanding territory not only in the battles and storyline, but of the Demon Slayer anime and also platforms. The game is releasing officially on August 5 for PC, consoles, and possibly Android and iOS as well.
This one, Saito.
I'm sorry.
Ghosts of Yotei finally has a release date of October 2nd, 2025, and it is a PlayStation 5 exclusive. It's now coming to PC as well. This game is set a few years after Ghosts of Tsushima. You play it is a spiritual successor that follows up on the story and swaps the samurai honor for basically a revenge story. You play as Otsu, the character that's left and burned under a ginkgo tree, and she comes back tracking down the villains, each with a code name and a different past. These developers are aiming for a tighter, less repetitive open world this time, plus the new trailer shows off some really good stuff. Supernatural vibes, intense duels, and some really good style. The game is looking brutal, emotional, and honestly, it might be one of the greatest games ever made. Among Us 3D finally hits PC on May 6, and if you thought the original was intense, well, wait until you're creeping through corridors in first person. Build off the VR version, this one actually sticks to the original formula, tasks, vents, betrayals, but it also then adds native proximity chat, full keyboard controller support, and the new tag mode where one infected turns others into a growing horde. It's gonna be chaotic, creepy, and somehow still hilarious. Returning minigames, limited time events, and a stack of cosmetics, it'll all be there, so it's shaping up to be a wild ride. Coming up at number 12, we have a Souls-like meet Celtic dope called Vindic's Defying Fate. I mean, the Korean developers Nixon's revamping their 2010 MMO in hardcore action RPG and neck and a head above. I mean, it's like Dark Souls meet Devil May Cry with that classic Korean flair. So far, only 2 characters are confirmed, a sword shield tank and a dual sword DPS, each with his neon-style weapon mastery and some combo-heavy combat, besides pre-alpha tests already showed a lot of promise. It's a dark fantasy with Korean MMO swagger, and if it drops in 2025, without pay-to-win nonsense, it'll definitely become a sleeper hit. It's finally coming around June this year.
You have no idea what it's like out here.
And last but not least, well, just an honorable mention if you missed it, Days Gone Remastered is finally out, and it is just a definitive way to experience Deacon St. John's journey. I mean, look, whether you are revisiting the game or diving in head first this time, this version just packs graphical upgrades, new modes, and extra content that make it more than just a simple remaster. There's a new mode, larger hordes, smaller enemies, and a challenge that constantly ramps up as you go further. In fact, if that's not intense enough, permadeath mechanics and a permadeath mode are here to test your survival skills to the max. The PlayStation enhancements do bring sharper visuals, DualSense haptic feedback, and a smoother frame rate, making everything more immersive.